Thanks, Steve. You know, I want to start out talking about rocks. Now, stay with me here on this, folks. I'm not losing rocks in my heads or marbles. This will all make sense. Rocks are everywhere. We don't really think about them much. Take the Southwest, for example. The area between Moab and Monticello, Utah, really is nothing but rocks. Red rocks. And yet, it wouldn't be what it is without rocks. The distinct beauty would be gone. The wonder, and for many thousands of people that come there every year, that off-road experience, the exhilaration of conquering the unconquerable. Just a rock, you say? Well, out here, there's no such thing. Highway 191 cuts the desert into two as it winds its way southward towards Arizona from I-70 in the heart of Utah. A few miles past Highway 313, the boulders overlooking 191 grow large. The bluffs tower high overhead. If you stop to take a look at it, it's a land that few would really sanely think to enter. But today, a group of riders, led by the crew from S Polaris in Ogden, Utah, and Cedar City, Utah, have chosen this as their playground, challenging the very rocks for supremacy of the Crimson Land.
Had a great time today. We went to what's called the Gold Bar and then go to the Golden Crack, or the Crack it's called. Everybody, most of the people wanted to cross the crack, had a great time crossing the crack. A lot of these people on our trail, they've never even experienced some of these rock crawling events and going on some of the trails out there and seeing the beauty that's here. It's outstanding.
Today we had a lot of the rock fins with the drop-off ledges, crack crossings, traversing over kind of side hill type terrain.
I love riding at Moab. It's like one of my really most favorite things to do. We've been doing it since about 2009. Plus when Polaris came out with the pink Razor, I went in there and then I ended up with one of those and they made it wide for me. And then we came down here and I'm not at all a adrenaline junkie at all. But this is just so different. I don't know if it's because it's slow and I'm in control, but I have so much fun on the trails. And so I just eat it up. I mean, I'm excited every time I know we're gonna come. So I just have a really good time on the trails. I love to climb the obstacles. I love to know I've defeated them. So that's kind of what makes it fun for me.
If today is about defeating obstacles, then they couldn't have picked a better course. Gold Bar Rim is a difficult run by any standard, forcing riders to scale inclines and straddle cliffs like few places on Earth. Painted white Gold Bar symbols lead the way through the sunset ridges as you ascend to overlooks of landscapes that, well, they seem to defy reason with their grandeur. Now, our friends didn't pick Gold Bar Rim for the sights, though. Today is about the challenge. You have to get into their heads to understand how these guys think. And when you're hitting a trail like this, you need to be prepared. If you've never really rock crawled before and you're looking to give it a try in your OHV, there are a few equipment tips to keep in mind.
We primarily like to encourage people, if they're going to do a lot of rock crawling, 30-inch tires. 30-inch tires, they can put 30-inch tires on a stock machine. Basically, just a fender mod. They're able to go out and have the ground clearance to go and traverse over the terrain. Huge difference, night and day difference. The person that's running a stock tire is going to beat up the undercarriage. We also encourage people, they do a heavy-duty full skid plate underneath. You protect your investment. Customers have spent $10,000 to $25,000 on their investment. Protect it, and that's what it's all about. We offer the tire and wheel packages. We do skid plates. We've actually done a lot of service work for people. They break axles. We had one of those on our trip with our group today.
I think I got a little cocky and thought I could make it over a ledge that is not walkable. You know, you try it once, you gotta try it again. And then if you can't make a certain hill or obstacle, then you gotta go home, spend a little more money at S to get it set up to do it, and then you gotta come back down and try it. Then you climb that, and then you gotta take the next obstacle. It's nice that I busted an axle, they're gonna pull it in and get me going within the hour, so I'll be able to hit the night ride in Stillbender. They're pretty knowledgeable, and the great thing is that instead of just being a place to buy my parts, now they become friends.
It seems like that's a common thing for those who hit the trail together. You start out as strangers with little in common except for the experience and maybe the equipment you're using. But by the end of the day, that singular passion for exploration and the triumph of overcoming whatever is in your path creates a strange kind of kinship, an outdoor bond, as it were. Friendships come easily and endure in places like this. and you look forward to the meeting next year. It's really hard to imagine pushing yourself and your machine to the limit in any other environment. And to think, it all began with a bunch of rocks.
I think my favorite part today was there were some obstacles that I went around before, where today I went over them. And so that was kind of fun because I mastered them. You know, I conquered, I guess is what it is. And maybe that's my adrenaline rush, is the conquer.
I remember back in the day when it was my first time. And so to see the look on the people's faces and to hear the stories about they can't believe they did it, it makes it worthwhile.
Friendly group of people. A lot of fun to be around.
And that's what you'll find more often than not on a trail in the hidden corners of the West. For At Your Leisure, I'm Chad Booth.